Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that was as calming for you as it is for me. Today I'm going to do a reading on the Great Resignation. Now, as we all know, it started with the pandemic. They closed down the country, basically. The country was closed down because of the pandemic. And people lost their jobs. Mothers had to come back home to be with their children. Businesses were closed down, small businesses, and it left people with nothing to do. Well, now that the country has somewhat opened up again, people are refusing to go back to work. So they're calling that the Great Resignation. And I just want to do a little read on it and see what's going to happen with that. Just a general reading, maybe see if, why they're deciding to do that. I know there's a lot of speculation about people not feeling like it's worth it for them to go back to work. And, but so what are people going to do without a job? What is the government going to do to fill these positions since they decided to close down everything and leave people out in the cold? As far, if you're a small business, just think about it. If you're a small business and you're getting started, and all of a sudden this is how you were taking care of yourself, but now everything's closed down. You've lost everything. You can't pay the rent at, if you have a overhead at a building of some sort that, maybe you owned a restaurant, for example, and all of a sudden that's gone. And do you want to start all over again? This is kind of where I see the government playing a big part in this. Because all of this has affected people's lives. So I want to know about the Great Resignation. Are people going to go back to work? What's going to happen in the end? What is the government going to do? Okay, so just a general reading, and we'll see what we get. I am going to do a Celtic cross on this one, and maybe do some clarifiers if necessary. All right. Spirit, tell me about the Great Resignation. What's going to happen with this? What is the future? What does the future look like for the workers? What does the future look like for the country? What does the future look like for the economy? Great Resignation. Let's pull some cards here. All right. First card up is the Ace of Pentacles. Next card, Ten of Swords. Okay. The foundation is the Sun. The Six of Cups is in the past position. The Magician is crowning it, crowning the reading. In the near future, we have the Knight of Swords. Next we have the Four of Wands. The environment is the Nine of Swords. Hopes and wishes is the Eight of Pentacles. And the final outcome is the Night of Pentacles. Wow. That final outcome being that Knight of Pentacles. That's interesting. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. Oh, and I'm using the Tarot of Wonderland deck. The Tarot of Wonderland. Okay? Okay, kind of a whimsical deck there. Okay, so first card up is the Ace of Pentacles, and it's about new beginnings. It's about new money beginnings. Someone is being handed the money, a gift of money there for a new beginning. And it looks like to me this pentacle is to cover up something. See, like it's going to fit, it's a lid that fits right on that somewhat of a box or something. So it's like it's an offer, but it's being offered in order to cover up something. Okay? It's a new beginning, but is it the right beginning? Because are we being offered this? Are the workers being offered this just to cover up some things for the employers, you know, to get them back into, you know, when you say cover up, it's like we'll get you back, and then we're going to do the same thing. You know, we're not going to acknowledge what was going on before, but we want you back, and we will give you money. We will give you money to come back, but we're going to just cover up things and act like before the pandemic you were really happy. And crossing that is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords. Now, wow. Now, normally this card is about endings, and I feel like the workers have had enough. You can see there with these Ten of Swords, there's a sword in their clothing, their shoes, and I'm thinking of this. You know, it will put you in the mind of someone working in a service type industry, like a restaurant, a hotel. They had to wear certain uniforms and that kind of thing. You know, maybe even in the hospital, you know, you got to wear certain kinds of uniforms. And they have said this is the end for them, and they have taken those swords and stabbed them in the clothing and the shoes and that kind of thing. And another thing is that you see that brick wall back there. I think they felt like they were imprisoned in a sense. So this is the worker. This is the worker kind of not trusting with that Ace of Pentacles showing up first. Yes, it would be a new beginning, but what kind of beginning? Are you willing to tackle what the problems were before and address them, or you know, otherwise this is an ending. So we have a beginning card and an ending card that's coming up. Okay, so in the foundation of this situation for the workers is the Sun card. The Sun card. You know, the sun is always bright. The sun is a happy card. And I think that what's making them feel this way is that since they've gotten a taste of not going to work, they can spend some time with their children, with their families, and that kind of thing. And they are feeling like, is it worth it? Is it worth it for me to go back to that sort of imprisonment. Maybe they felt like even a little bit enslaved, because a lot of them, it's like no matter what the wage is these days, they don't seem to want to return to work. So I think they have identified the fact that family or their needs are more important than the money. Now, I do wonder, of course it crosses my mind about if that's important to you, how are you going to take care of your family? But they're happy here. They're happy here with their family and, taking time out to share things with one another. So that Sun card as a foundation is really a great card. Okay, and then in the past, we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups. This is about nostalgia. Okay, and I think that what they're feeling here is that they gave a lot. They were, as you can see, the person here, the little girl here, she's like in a uniform, and then we have the rabbit here that's in his little jacket there. To me, he's like, I'll readily accept what you're giving, and it looks like to me with the expression on his face that he's accepting. She's always giving, and he's receiving. And this is how that the worker is feeling, like I gave, but I didn't receive the same in return. And above all of that, we see this elephant with wings. I think the worker is thinking, yeah, if I go back, I'm going to hear all these wonderful things about what things are going to be like, and it's all going to be a fairy tale. Elephants don't have wings. It's going to be a fairy tale. I don't trust you. I don't believe what you're saying. Okay, crowning the reading is the Magician. The Magician. And I think that, again, this is definitely the worker, because the worker, this was the foundation and this is crowning it. The worker feels like they have what they need to make things work out for them. They're going to figure out a way. They have everything they need. They're going to figure out a way to make that sun shine so that they can spend more time doing whatever it is they want to do. They are not going to go back and give an employer a lot of their time and energy without some a reward that they feel is worth their time and energy. So, crowning that, we do have that Magician. So it's like that, like they are willing to hold out. Okay, and in the near future, we have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Swords are all about mental clarity and decision making. And this knight is going in here quickly, and he is sort of like, he knows that if he uses his intellect, that he can also make things happen. He's clear. He's clear about what he wants to do. So, and he is also facing this Ten of Swords. So he's letting this go, and he's charging in, using his own senses, his own mentality to come up with what this magician wants him to do, because the magician is saying, you have it all. You have everything you need to do what you need to do. And he's going to charge in there to do what it is that he needs to do for himself and his family. So next, this is what the worker is thinking, and I hope the train doesn't bother you guys too much after all of that relaxing we just did. But it's coming and it's loud. The next card up we have is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a stable. Fours are stable. They are about boundaries. And I think that what's happening with this Four of Wands is that the workers are saying, hey, I got boundaries. I got boundaries. And I'm not gonna let you talk me into doing something that I don't want to do. I'm stable, or I will get stable, and you can't tell me what to do. You know? And everyone is relaxed, sitting there relaxed, happy and stable, and it's like you can't walk over me anymore. I think that this is what they're feeling. I am going to maintain my boundaries, and like I said before, if they are want the workers back, the employers are gonna have to step up, or the government, because like I said, they were quick to close down everything, and of course they said it was for good reason, but you know, it is what it is at this point. But the workers have come to some conclusions that, you know, may benefit them instead of the employer. Okay, so in the environment, we got the nine of Swords. Now, this is a worried employer here, okay, or a worried government, or, you know, worried Wall Street. Where are all the workers, you know, that 1% can put to work and make them make all that money for them? Where are they? When are they coming back? Why won't they come back? So these are the people that are staying up at night worried about that worker. And here in the Hope and Fears is the Eight of Pentacles. This is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is about they're fearing that worker will never come back. This is what that employer is fearing right here. He's fearing that worker will never come back. Okay, so that's in the hopes and fears. And you can see them here. They have that the pentacles are about the money, but they're still trying to figure out what is it that worker wants. He's taking that pencil and he's putting it in a spot on that target there, and thinking, is this what he wants, or is that what he wants, or what can I do, you know, that kind of thing. So they're kind of guessing about the worker. Okay, and the worker is in the progress of making things happen for themselves, because next up I have here the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles. Now, this particular knight, he's kind of like, I will say, like, kind of like the Hierophant, in that he is just going to take it easy for a minute. He is going to maybe get some more education. He's kind of at a standstill. It's like well, I'm not going to move yet. I'm not going to move yet. And when I look at the whole, this reading in particular, I don't see so far where the worker is thinking about running back to work, because, you know, like I said, they feel like in the past they were, you know, they weren't rewarded for what they did, that the employer was doing all the receiving. I do want to clarify that Knight of Pentacles, though, because he's just sitting there. He's being offered the money, but it's slow, very slow. He's just sitting there thinking about, should I take it? He's analyzing, as a hermit would do. He's analyzing his position. He's not sure. He's going to take his time. He's going to maybe go into solitude for a while, which is what they're doing now. That night, he is not interested in going anywhere yet. So let's just see if we can dive in here and find out any more information about this particular situation, the Great Resignation. Let's see if what that Knight's going to do. Clarity on the Knight spirit. Guys, please subscribe, like, and share. I would appreciate it. Okay, Spirit, what is that? What's next for that Knight? What's next for that worker who's being offered? Okay, let's see. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. I think that what it looks like right now with that Seven of Swords is that people are not trusting. They are not trusting. You know, they remember how the employer was always getting away with what they wanted. And the Seven of Swords is telling me that they're feeling like if they go back, they're going to be treated the same way. So I think it's a trust issue. I don't know what it would take. Let me pull another card here. My Spirit, tell me more about this situation. Wow, Seven of Cups. Wow, look at this. Look at this happy person on this card. That Seven of Cups. So many choices. The worker is going to hold out, and they're going to have so many choices. It's like it's the workers are going to be the ones that are going to say yes or no. They're going to interview the employer. You know, they're going to get some things on paper. When they do go back, they're going to be happy. They're going to be happy where they're at, and that employer is going to have to treat them like they are somebody. Okay, so it's going to end up that the worker is going to end up with lots of choices. The employer is the one that's going to be confused about, you know, what do I do? How do I keep this person? You know, what do I pay? That's where the confusion comes in. But the employee is going to have plenty of choices of where to go, and maybe even in some cases name their price. Okay, and at the bottom of the deck I have the Four of Swords. Now, to me, this is telling me that this employer he's going to have to take a rest for a while. He's going to have to rest and figure out what he's going to do, how he's going to get his employees back. And maybe this is even the government, you know. There is Three Swords hanging there. and one at the bottom. So before anything happens, I have a feeling that they're going to have to bring all those swords down, because they're going to have to do some negotiating with the worker. Whoever this is, the government, the employers, the 1% who has used the employee and not treated them well, they're going to have to really think about, they're going to have to go through those swords and figure out what it is they need to do to get the workers back. So guys, I think it may, I don't think it's going to ever come back full force. I think the people are, like I said, they're upset because they've given so much to the employer, and the government has played a big part in taking away their positions and taking away their livelihood and that kind of thing. And I think they're not very trusting. When an employer gets them back, there's going to be a lot of negotiations going on, and there's going to be a lot more dignity in the workforce. All right, so guys, I hope that helped. And before we leave, I am just going to give you another little note here, and I hope this helps. Thank you.